Welcome back, the Chiefs. Now joining us, Dumaguete City Mayor Felipe Remolyo. Good evening, Mayor Remolyo.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening, Mayor.
Baka nakamute po kayo.
May delay yata. Mayor Remolyo, can you hear us? May technical problems yata tayo. But while we're waiting for Mayor Remolyo, we might as well, of course, explain to people why we're having the Dumaguete Mayor as guest. As you may have seen in the news, there's a very controversial project sa Dumaguete for a 174-hectare reclamation project book.
I think the project is located dun sa one of the more popular sites in Dumaguete. Yung parang Baywalk nila.
And of course, Dumaguete is known for that. But ito na si Mayor.
Hello?
Mayor, can you hear us? Mayor
Hi, sir.
Remolyo?
Yes, Robbie and Ed, magandang gabi sa inyo lahat.
Magandang gabi po.
Magandang gabi po. Sir, we were just talking about, of course, why we invited you
Yes.
here.
Thank you for this invitation, Robbie. No?
Apo. And we want to get straight into it. There's this proposal for a 174-hectare reclamation in Dumaguete. Very controversial because environmentalists, on the one hand, they're saying this will damage the famous coastal area of Dumaguete, and then on the other hand, you have lawyers, environmental lawyers, and legal analysts saying the contract itself is fraught with irregularities. They have a lot of questions on the process. There was a proposal to withdraw the council's authority for the mayor to enter into this project. From what I understand, that has been thumbed down by the council. Just to be clear, sir, from where you stand right now as mayor and as a leader of the local government, ano po yung status ng project? As far as you're concerned, is this a go right now? Is it a yellow light? Is it a red light?
You know, there's a lot of disinformation going on, no? And misinformation. Ang status ito ay hindi pa kami or ang city nakapag-apply sa PRA or Philippine Reclamation Authority. And to correct the impression that it's going to obstruct or it's in front of the famous Dumaguete Boulevard, walang ganoon, no? The Dumaguete Boulevard, the stretch of the Dumaguete Boulevard is unobstructed. The stretch of Silliman Beach is also unobstructed. That, yes. We are now at a stage where we still have to apply with the PRA. Ang layo pa nito. The process is from PRA. The PRA executes a contract with the local government and will require us to submit feasibility studies, final EIS or environmental impact statement, ECC, which is very crucial, IEE, hydrodynamic modeling, detailed engineering plans. So, and ang the crux of the matter or the detailed engineering plans and ECC will now be lodged with the DNR,
Okay.
which will strictly study the proposal.
So Mayor, so you're saying malayo pa because nandiyan pa ang PRA, nandiyan pa ang DNR, both national agencies. But let's address it. Let's address the question on the local level muna. When you say na dadaan pa kami sa PRA, does that then officially say that that the local government, along with its reported joint venture partner, EM Cuerpo, is already a proponent of this? You have already approved it on the local level, and therefore you are a proponent of this to the national agencies?
Yeah. Let's start it this way. This is a PPP project, no? A public-private partnership whereby it passed through the process. Okay, it took the proposal was made sometime in November 25 of 2019. So it went through at least almost 2 years of processing, and then just about 2 months ago, there was this recommendation from the selection committee. Of course, the process includes the publication, uh, the scrutinizing of the capability of the proponent, and naturally, after the process with the selection committee, it is being endorsed to the mayor for awarding of the contract. And by the way, the PPP contract is not the memorandum of agreement that that the council approved. It's the PPP contract only arises when after the process from PRA uh, to DNR would have been completed, and thereby giving the city a notice to proceed from the PRA. And whereby after PRA's notice to proceed, it goes back to the city council for study, scrutiny, and it will be made into an ordinance. After the ordinance is final, then the city will now give its imprimatur. The executive gives its notice to proceed. The process would probably take 2 or 3 years, depending on how fast these agencies can act on. No? The only controversy here is this: there is a view, the environmentalists and the concerned citizens think that with the project, 174 hectares, yung mga corals, yung mga marine life would be quote-unquote matabunan. No? Comparing this project with those of the reclamations in Metro Manila, Cebu, this is a midget project. It just looks big because it has 74, but this is even small compared to those already approved by the DNR and are already in place, okay, and already functioning. Okay, and by the way, there's a new reclamation project in Cebu, Cordova, Cebu, which will be 1,500 hectares. Okay, so ang position ko lang dito is, ang position namin dito is that there should be an equitable balance or a reasonable balance between economic growth, progress, and the preservation of the environment. That's why the DNR issues an ECC, which outlines the conditions by which a reclamation is approved or is given a go signal, a green light, only after a number of strict rules or strict prestations or guidelines are met. For example, ang DNR for reclamation projects require that should there be corals, mangroves, trees that would be affected, they should be replaced by the same quantity. But myself as an advocate, rather as also concerned for the environment, I would even add more I would even not go to the before we go to replacement. I would even require that first, kung merong mga corals or even a marine life that would be affected, the first thing I do, and I'll require the proponent to avoid, if we cannot avoid the destruction or of this marine life, number 2 step is you integrate. Meaning you make the design such that the marine life will be preserved by integrating. The third, kung hindi talaga ma-integrate or ma-avoided, papasok ko na sa replacement of these affected corals through artificial reefs. And this will be done since time immemorial. Yun ang ginagawa nila sa ECC. Okay? So it need
Mayor,
not be a
Mayor,
yes or no proposition. Yes.
Mayor, baka we can go back to basics muna.
Yes,
Tell us
yes.
about this smart city project. What exactly is it, and
Yeah, correct.
what's the plan? What's the benefit for the people of Dumaguete?
The benefit is basically there's the problem of unemployment, poverty, all right, and even uh, those OFWs who were laid off because of this pandemic would benefit from. The city intends to give free hospitalization, free education, subsidy food and utilities, free medicines, housing, but we are a third-class city without burdening the national government. This is a self-help, sustainable project whereby if the investors would be with a 179 smart city project, the investors will be inviting investors so much so this we can tax them by way of real property tax, business tax. We share in the revenues of the ancillary businesses that the proponent or the developer would be putting up in this project. Imagine 25% of
Yeah.
of the proceeds without a single peso that would the city would cough up for this project. A 23 billion that is it's a rare opportunity for an investor to do it to invest in Dumaguete at this time of pandemic. And why Dumaguete? And all the fees, application filing fees, application with the DNR and PRA will be shouldered by the proponent. Apart from its share that the city and the national government will get from the land or the reclaimer. A smart city basically is an environmentally attuned city whereby there are lots of parks and free open spaces, promenades, with the use of solar, with the use of, we require buildings to be green buildings, underground cable, and so on and so forth. There is
Mayor,
partiality on open spaces and promenades in this
Yeah.
city. So when
Hey.
the city, the third-class city, Dumaguete now is a third-class city, we would be affluent. We would have enough revenues to plow back to the citizenry by way of hospitalization and so on and so forth.
yeah, Mayor,
So without being without
Yeah.
relying on the era of the national government.
Mayor, if you know, certainly I think everybody understands the vision of every LGU leader to want to improve not just their areas but the livelihood and the welfare of their people. But unfortunately, it's always there will always be this debate as to what does it take to bring that about. Unfortunately, when you cite na sa Manila rin naman may reclamation, sa Cebu rin naman may reclamation, you won't necessarily get any sympathies from environmentalists because God knows what we've done to Manila Bay here and what has happened to every reclamation area in Cebu or anywhere else in the country does not really bode well and does not really speak well about how well we've managed our resources. But I want to therefore bring not to, because we're not technical experts here, there will be another time to discuss really the environmental impact here. But one of the issues here also, as you've pointed out, is community acceptance. And that's what I want to get to because it's quite crucial to the legal process.
Yes.
When should community consultation take place and when should community acceptance be established? Is it at the time before, at the time that an unsolicited proposal comes to your doorstep? Is it at the time that you become a co-proponent in a joint venture? Or is it at the time that you submit it as a proponent to the PRA and the DNR?
We have committed to do these consultations, not approval or not public hearings, at every step of the way. From the time that you know, 2 years ago, I have been going around or going the rounds of barangays or even the barangay officials to see this video about the project. That was about 2 years ago. And even business, any forum that I could, I could be a participant in, no? But maybe the time that I've shown this, shown these videos or this concept of the project, tingin nila it's a drawing, it's something not achievable because it's very difficult to get an interested a partner or an interested investor for this project. No? And by the way, unless because there are technical people here, let's say, if you say, you're an environmentalist, you say this will destroy the corals. That is why I would demand from the proponent, and it is also a requirement sa DENR when you apply for an ECC, Environmental Compliance Certificate, to get a marine survey of the marine life of the city. So we will really know where the corals are located, so that una, maa-avoid mo, iwasan mo. Kung hindi mo maiwasan, integrate into the design of the project. Kung hindi, replace. Because that's the ECC. It's a matter of explaining to the people.
But sir, very quickly, I hope you don't mind. Very quickly, and then Ami has a question. But
Okay,
very
Ami.
quickly, you said, we could integrate, we could avoid, or we could improve, and we could mitigate, and so on. A number of options there. Why is reconsider and stop not an option?
Reconsider and stop.
Not an option. I mean, you said, umpisahan natin yung technical mapping, umpisahan natin yung technical studies. Kung makita natin baka merong ma-damage, ang isang option is integrate into the plan. The other option is iwasan. The other option is to rehabilitate. But all of that is going in the direction of the premise na tuloy ito kahit anong mangyari. Why is after the technical support, teka muna, nag-technical study tayo precisely to know all the options. Why is reconsider and stop not an option?
You see, I am mayor of not only those who are active in the Facebook. A number of oppositionists or those concerned, you see, are not even residents of Dumaguete. When you talk of environment, the whole world knows about it. Magpapadala even Wildlife Foundation, Greenpeace, everybody joins in the fray, regardless of what they don't even know the exact picture of the marine life of Dumaguete. You see, Dumaguete is not a dive spot. The dive spot is in Dawin, which is 30 meters away. Okay, I have a study that the boulevard, beautiful boulevard, is now a study on the sea sampling of sometime in 2019. I was alarmed when after the DNR took over Boracay for 6 months, and after there was a lockdown of the Manila Bay, I had that study, and I saw, and we found out that there's already a fecal coliform at the boulevard of Dumaguete with a number of fecal coliform which shoot up to over 1,600 mpn, or most probable number per milliliter of seawater. So, it's not actually a reclamation only. First, it's the establishment of wastewater treatment facility, a smart city. So, when you say, just because there are concerns, just because there is an opposition, let's do it the scientific way of approaching it. Are the fears really well-founded? When you say, matatabunan ng corals, lahat ba ng buong Dumaguete ba na shoreline, may corals ba? Di ba? Why cannot we avoid the corals? Why cannot we integrate the corals? Why cannot we replace the corals? And that is giving a chance to the transcendental the vision, the transcendental motive of solving the poverty problem of our people. 70% of our people are poor. Walang pabahay, walang trabaho. Okay? Ang new graduates, because we are a university town, go elsewhere, go to Cebu, Manila, and abroad to find work and splitting the family. There are ills of being an OFW. That is what we want to solve. So that once I stepped down in office, it need not be said that we did not do anything. We did not try to at least try this step so that we can provide a better life for our people.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
You do it the scientific way.
Mayor Felipe Remulio, and I'm sure we will dedicate more time to talk about the more technical aspects to this. We do want to bring in somebody else on the people opposing this project to the discussion. In the meantime, we'd like to thank you, Mayor Felipe Remulio, Mayor of Dumaguete City. Maraming salamat po. In the meantime, we'd like to bring in also for her perspective, Attorney Golda Benjamin, law professor at Silliman University. Attorney Benjamin is one of those opposing the reclamation project in Dumaguete City. Good evening, Attorney Benjamin.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Mayor Remolio.
Attorney, very quickly, your reaction to Mr. Remolio's what he shared with us.
Yes, Mayor Remolio said that this project is going to be very good for the city, and obviously dahil nandito ako as opposition, hindi po ako nag-agree. Pag-isipan po natin, yung islang ito magbablock ng 85% of the Dumaguete coastline, kahit na yung boulevard hindi mablock, but still it's about 45 hectares worth of coral, 60 hectares plus of seagrass. Irreversible damage ito, at kung mag-attempt tayong fix ito at ayusin, it will take years. And on top of that, on the technical, meron tayong, and I'm glad that Mayor Remolio finally admitted that the city actually scrutinized the capacity of the proponent. Kasi tinignan din po namin yung capacity ng proponent, hindi naman po kasama yung reclamation sa negosyo niya. So syempre natatakot po kami. Sinabi din niya na yun, tinitingnan yung financial capacity. So tinignan namin yung financial statement ng EM Cuerpo, 1.4 billion lang po yung net worth niya. Pinakompute po namin ng mga accountant kung magkano yung babayaran ng EM Cuerpo sa fees pa lang ng PRA. At yung computation namin parang nasa around 900 million na. So saan pa niya kukunin yung 23 billion na gagamitin niyang pang-reclaim. Kaya medyo may malaking takot yung mga tao ng Dumaguete kasi may mga dokumento ding lumabas na state-owned Chinese company yung magre-reclaim. So isa yan sa mga technical na issues, at syempre yung pinaka-importante dito, hindi talaga kami nakonsulta. Maganda yung sinabi kanina kung at what point dapat magkonsulta. At ito ay dapat sa panahon na pinipresenta na yung kontrata sa konseho bago ito mag-authorize na pumirma yung mayor. Hindi po kami nag-agree, at hindi naman po tayo pwedeng magdebate ng 2 oras dito. Hindi po kami nag-agree na MOA lang po yun. Kasi si Mayor Remolio, inadmit din niya today sa show natin na nag-unsolicited proposal na po, at yung term nga ng ginamit niya, it's the awarding of the contract. So, contract po yun, at kahit yung pagpresenta ng sponsor na konsehal nung resolution na ito sa hearing ng konseho, nag-transcribe po ako. Psych po kasi yung undergrad ko, mahilig kaming mag-transcribe, at sinabi niya, I'd like to present the draft PPP contract. At sa PPP ordinance po namin, wala po yung word na MOA. Ang lalabas po talaga sa unsolicited proposal at matapos yung notice of award ay talagang kontrata. So at this point, we should have been consulted. Simple lang naman po yung hingi ng mga taga-Dumaguete.
Attorney, listening to the mayor kanina, mukhang determined siya to push through with the project. Ano ba yung mga options niyo to stop him, to stop the project? Legal and other options.
Yung unang options po, nandito naman si Mayor, gusto po namin talaga siyang makausap at ma-present ng EM Cuerpo yung financial and legal capacity niya to do this project. Gusto namin malaman kung totoo ba itong Polychangda na yung state-owned company ay kasama dito. So itong mga importanteng mga tanong kailangan talaga sagutin ng mayor. Kasi bakit nila inaward yung contract? Nakakatakot naman, gagawa sila ng 174 hectares at hindi qualified, hindi kasama sa negosyo ng kumpanya. Siyempre po, dahil abogado tayo, may mga options tayo na legal. Injunction, meron tayong magandang procedure on writ of kalikasan, pwede tayong mag-file niyan. Unavoidable din po, alam naman natin na pag may problema sa procurement, pwede din tayong mag-file ng Republic Act 3019, yung Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. At kung totoo talagang itong Polychangda, yung Chinese company ay kasama dito, posible tayong mag-explore ng mga violations ng anti-dumping law. So marami naman po tayong options sa mga batas natin.
Pero ang kiniklaim po ni Mayor karamihan daw sa mga opponents ay mga outsiders. And he has the people of the city behind him. Yan ang sinabi.
Medyo hindi po totoo. Actually, ako po, gumawa po ako ng matrix, naka-Excel na po kung sino yung naglabas ng mga possession papers natin, yung simbahan. Hindi lang yung Siliman ang nag-complain, may mga universities din at organizations. At ako din po, yung belief ko, pag ikaw ay isang ama ng isang syudad, dapat hindi mo dinidiscount yung opinion ng mga taga Dumaguete na wala na sa Dumaguete. Kasi Dumaguete po, it is very different city. It's a city of gentle people and actually a city of love. Yung mga alumni po ng mga universities, talagang pag may reunion, umuwi po yan. Ganun kamahal ng mga tao yung Dumaguete. So the mayor should stop discounting the opinion and the love of these people. Kasi eventually, yung mga taong to uuwi din po sa Dumaguete. So they have a stake on this issue. Ako po, 17 years po ako sa Manila tumira at kahit nung nandun ako, talagang active citizen ako at tumutulong ako sa ilang mga community projects sa Dumaguete. So just to the mayor, just trust that your people, regardless of where they are in the world, love Dumaguete so much. And that's why we're so passionate about this issue and that we really want to talk to you and we really want you to just follow the law. Open it up to consultations, present it on official records dun sa konseho, at sundan lang po natin yung batas. Kasi kung naniniwala po sila na talagang maganda ito for Dumaguete City, transparency is the first step naman.
Ma'am, very quickly lang po, for the benefit of everyone who's not had the privilege really of visiting the very beautiful Dumaguete City, could you situate it for us? Kasi kanina sinasabi ni Mayor na mali naman yung nai-imagine nyo that our beautiful boulevard nandyan sa tapat niya. Where exactly is this project being proposed? And if you could situate it for us, para na-imagine din ng mga tao na, like I said, have no idea what Dumaguete looks like.
Alright. So tama si Mayor, hindi po mabablock yung boulevard at yung mahal ko na Siliman. Magsisimula po siya, based lang po dun sa mga video na ipresenta din ni Mayor sa public. Magsisimula po siya after ng pier ng Dumaguete, hanggang dun po sa barangay kung saan ako nakatira ngayon. At matatamaan din po yung dagat kung saan ako natutong lumangoy. Meron dun yung childhood home ko. Tapos mabe-break dun sa boulevard at merong hotel dun, yung popular na hotel na Bethel. Hindi yun mabablock kasi meron namang maliit na reclamation doon. At after that, yung barangay after that naman. So dalawang isla po siya ang mangyayari.
Okay. And then as far as the consultations are concerned, just again to be clear about it, I mean, meron bang naganap na consultation? From the start pa lang nung unsolicited proposal, may naganap na bang consultations?
Wala talaga. Tinanong ko yung ibang LGU na nag-unsolicited proposal ng mga malalaking projects. Yung good practice nga nila, once matanggap ng LGU yung unsolicited proposal, nagsimula sila agad na mag-consultation, which did not happen. Tama si Mayor, 2 years yung unsolicited proposal process. And after that, after nung notice of award, papunta na ng konseho, hindi pa rin nag-consultation. Ako nga po, na-discover ko lang na may ganung kontrata kasi sumabog na at may nagpadala sa akin ng link doon sa council session. 3 tao ang nagpadala sa akin at nagtanong kung pwede ba yon. So, binasa ko naman PPP ordinance namin, yung mga PPP guidelines, at talagang nagka-problema dun sa consultation. At nandito yung debate kasi biglang tinawag yung draft contract na Memorandum of Agreement. Pero nung July 7 po, ang titulo pa lang ng kontrata na naipresenta sa konseho ay draft joint venture agreement. Hanggang sa notarial, yung kung saan nagnonotaryo, joint venture talaga yung naisulat. So, walang basihan po sa batas natin at kahit sa PPP ordinance at kahit sa dokumento mismo, 11 times yung term na joint venture agreement lumabas at yung MOA naman hindi lumabas. Lumabas lang referring to an entirely different thing. So dito tayo nagkakaproblema kasi may differences in interpretation. But I'm very confident that our interpretation is based on what is written in the contract and what is also in our PPP laws.
Okay.
But Attorney, where is the council in all of this? Kasi the council is supposed to be representing the people. What I read was that there was a move to withdraw the authority given to Mayor Felipe, but that was shut down by the council in a vote. Although it was a close vote apparently, but it was shut down by the council.
Yeah. The council is at the crossfire, Ed. So ito yung nangyari, tatlo yung resolution, no? Resolution to give the mayor a letter of intent, resolution of no objection to the project. Yung dalawang kasi ito, Ed, importante ito sa PRA. Bago magsimula, kailangan yung dalawa. At yung third resolution is to give the mayor the authority to sign this so-called Memorandum of Agreement. Ang nanalo si mayor dun sa authority to sign the agreement, pero na-withdraw po ang technical term na vacate po yung resolution of no objection to the project, which is very important kasi medyo insulto naman, word pa lang resolution of no objection to the project. Tapos libo-libo yung nagpo-protesta at nagsusulat ng petition. So at least that one, for me, that's a big win. Ano yan win out of love yan sa mga taga Dumaguete. Kasi at least hindi muna masimulan. Wala yung isa sa pinaka-critical na component or requirement bago masimulan yung PRA process.
Okay. Attorney Golda Benjamin, she is a law professor at Silliman University. Maraming salamat po. And again, we'd like to thank also Mayor Felipe Remolyo of Dumaguete City.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat
Thank you,
po.
Attorney.
Now, before we cap this week off, we'd like to invite you to watch our coverage of the President's final State of the Nation address on Monday. Please watch this.
On July 26, 2021, the President will deliver his SONA one last time. One News brings you the complete coverage of this year's SONA, from the pre-event talks to the post-event analysis. Know what his administration did in the past 5 years and what needs to be done before his term ends on the Duterte Years. Broadcast starts at 2:30 p.m. here on One News.
And kasama po natin dyan, TV5, One News, Business World, and Philippine Star. In fact, before we end, we would like to greet happy anniversary to the Philippine Star. Ami,
Thank you. 1 month yung anniversary namin.
ilang taon na ba ang Philippine Star? Ilang taon na?
35.
35. Grade school pa lang po si Ami nung nag-umpisa ang Philippine Star. Milestone
Hindi,
celebration.
si Ami mulat sa pool, nasa star na yan.
But really, congratulations to everybody there, including our boss MGB, and to everybody, all the wonderful people and the committed journalists of the Philippine Star. And that will be all for this special edition of the Chiefs, but we hope what was discussed here will keep the conversation going. Before we go, a reminder to our viewers, mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Robbie Alampay.
I'm Ami Paminton of the Philippine Star.
I'm Ed Lingao, and we are One News.